Imagine it's 2030. You select a dozen assets across global markets, and with a single tap, you simultaneously buy, send, and stake them all. Today, that same sequence is a gauntlet of MetaMask pop-ups and manual gas fee calculations. You're left hoping a bridge transfer doesn't stall while you track balances across 5 different wallets. This anxiety exists because networks like Ethereum, Solana, and Cosmos are isolated. They do not natively share data or value, creating a fragmented landscape for the user. You cannot solve this with a cleaner interface or a better graphic design. The friction is built into the architecture itself. Reaching that 2030 experience requires a different approach to the underlying plumbing of the decentralized internet, beginning with the operating system itself. Current blockchains rely on an imperative model. This forces you to provide the exact step-by-step mechanical instructions for every single action you want the network to take. Early platforms used this transaction-centric design to prove programmable money was possible. However, it placed the burden of execution entirely on the user. Requiring millions of people to manually route their own network traffic is like expecting every driver to be a specialized mechanic just to start their car. To scale, the industry is moving toward declarative intents. In this model, you sign a message that defines only your desired end state. The network then determines the most efficient computational path to reach it. Let's look past the screen of that 2030 smartphone and into the deep infrastructure, the Anoma distributed operating system. Anoma abstracts a network of computers into a single, unified environment for developers and users. Here, the building block is the intent. Instead of dictating how to trade, you declare your condition. I will give up asset X if and only if I receive asset Y. Rather than forcing a linear transaction down a narrow pipe, your wallet broadcasts that condition into an open network. Anoma catches your request and pulls it together with millions of others flowing in from across the globe. The user is no longer responsible for finding liquidity or managing cross-chain bridges. The network architecture itself absorbs that complexity. Within this infrastructure, specialized actors called solvers compete to fulfill your intents. Entities like Barter use dedicated hardware to find the best possible outcome for your request. They scan environments like Ethereum, Solana, and Cosmos simultaneously, hunting for the exact matching trades needed to settle your intent. When multiple users have overlapping needs, solvers perform a ring trade. If person A wants what B has and B wants what C has, the solver clicks them together in one simultaneous swap. The resource machine allows the trade to finalize only if the math balances. It executes perfectly for everyone, or not at all. This decentralized matchmaking stands in contrast to traditional finance, which relies on siloed physical venues to manually match buyers and sellers. By calculating these matches in the background, solvers transform fragmented blockchains into a single, efficient global barter economy. However, broadcasting your financial desires to a public network of solvers creates a risk. If your intent is visible to everyone, you are exposed to surveillance and predatory front-running. Namada provides the cryptographic shield for this system. It integrates with Anoma to protect user data before it ever enters the gossip network. Namada wraps your intent in an encrypted shell. Solvers can match the math without seeing your identity, your total balance, or your specific strategy. This privacy makes the intent machine viable for both everyday consumers and institutional capital, ensuring that the convenience of digital barter doesn't come at the cost of personal security. Returning to the 2030 wallet interface, we can see the broader impact of this architecture. In this model, chains like Ethereum, Solana, and Cosmos function as invisible back-end settlement layers. The user no longer needs to bridge between them or choose between competing ecosystems. This mirrors the evolution of the modern web. Most people have no idea if a website runs on AWS or Google Cloud. They only care that the service is reliable and accessible. Anoma unifies these disparate networks into a single coordination layer. It removes the technical hurdles that define crypto today, allowing users to interact with decentralized services as easily as they use a modern banking app.